Good afternoon. It is really a pleasure, and I have to first start with thanking the leadership of GBC, so Mark Anthony Thomas, Mohan Sunta, and the entire GBC team for this platform and opportunity to talk about one of the things that I love the most, which is Baltimore. And to be able to share this stage with my colleague and friend, Thomas Regnante, to talk about JPMorgan Chase's just commitment to Baltimore and what we've been able to see for so many years about what is possible here. So to start, I just want to interview my friend. He's going to interview me, so we're going to go back and forth talking about our firm's investment and what we've been able to do over the course of several years. But Tom, many may not know, was the first, one of the first people I ever met at JPMorgan Chase and really spearheaded the growth of JP Morgan in this market. And so, Tom, I'd love for you to talk personally and professionally about your move to Baltimore and the firm's belief in the growth and opportunity here.
Well, hello, Alicia. Good to be here with you. Nice to see everybody. I have a very proud Baltimore story. So I'm originally from New York and spent the bulk of my commercial banking career in the New York and Washington, D.C. markets. And I became known as someone in financial services that was pretty good at pioneering new markets, going into a new geography, finding out ways to connect with people and move business along. And so with that, I got a call from a senior leader at JPMorgan Chase about 10 years ago to ask me about Baltimore. And admittedly, I knew Baltimore was an industrial city, but didn't know much about the town and certainly the business community. And I thought about JPMorgan Chase, on every corner in New York and many neighborhoods around the country, and so certainly why not Baltimore? Baltimore sounded pretty interesting, so I came to town, did a lot of listening, met with many stakeholders, the business, civic, and community engagement community here in town, and instantly learned about the heart of this town. Some people like to say I'm a banker with a heart, which I feel very proud about. And so it was a good fit right from the start. So 10 years ago, Alicia, we opened up our first Maryland office at JPMorgan Chase here in Baltimore City. And a couple of years later, I moved my wife and family into the city. And I'm just really amazed by the wonderful people, really blows me away, the welcoming that we received, both me personally and our banking business here in Baltimore by this terrific community.
That's great, Tom. And can you talk a little bit about, not just your personal move, but JP Morgan has viewed this as such a key part of our commercial bank business, and you've been leading that marvelously. Can you talk a little bit about the opportunity as individuals are thinking about their commercial banking and opportunities and trade as well, internationally and nationally here?
Absolutely. I mean, this is really a full market with many, many economic engines, as has been discussed here already today. So when we think about the commercial banking business, all aspects of that market are here in town: small business, business banking, middle market companies, large corporate companies on the verge of going IPO and beyond. We really have all those elements here in town. And when I think about all the segments, of course, there's such an industrial history here. So we still have a vibrant manufacturing sector, a wholesale distribution market, great industries like transportation, logistics, professional services, and of course, a very vibrant healthcare, higher education, not-for-profit market. And since we're very close to DC and here in Maryland, it's a very large government contractor community, which we benefit from. And a lot of the newer industries, of course, are online here in Baltimore, and were a bit of a surprise to me when I came. And now to see them really in full force, like the green economy world, sustainable finance businesses, and of course technology and disruptive commerce, which is growing here in Baltimore leaps and bounds, and it's becoming a growing part of our business operation as well. So really a full gamut of opportunity here for financial institutions and really for any investor who's considering calling Baltimore home. Alicia, let me turn the table. We were real proud at JPMorgan Chase to make a major announcement a couple of weeks ago of a philanthropic investment here in the city of $8.5 million. And Alicia and her team are really at the forefront of designing that investment and leading that effort. So I want to ask Alicia a little bit more about how that came about. And what do you think the future holds? What would you like to see come out of that investment?
Well, around the office, everyone knows I may talk about a lot of things, but Baltimore is probably the thing I talk about the most, even though I cover North America. And really pleased to have colleagues like Nadine Duplessis-Kearns here, as well as Arnetta Shelton, who helped to architect that investment in Baltimore. As we think about where we have opportunity and where we as a corporation can come in with the tools, not just our grant-making tools, but the full force of the firm to think about investment in Baltimore, there were two areas of focus that really rose to the top. One, vacant housing reduction, and the second being small business. And so that $8.5 million really is comprised of two philanthropic endeavors. One, a $6 million investment in vacant housing reduction. And really what that represents is a build upon our investment here in the region, our $20 million commitment to Baltimore in particular, and our investments in organizations like Parity Homes, where over the past 3 years, we've been able to work with Bree Jones, the amazing leader of that organization, to help to reduce vacants in West Baltimore in the Harlem Park community. But really to double down on that, we see so many people like Bree Jones, other nonprofits in this city who are doing so much to reduce vacants. And so our work in this area is really to identify those nonprofit partners, those nonprofit developers that are helping to reduce vacants, and then to put gasoline on their fires, to help them think about reducing vacants, whether it be the technical aspects, which require an infusion of capital, or the gaps that many of them face when they're thinking about the capital stack that's necessary to address vacancy. The second part of that grant, the $2.5 million, is really, I think, speaks to the strength of Baltimore. And what Baltimore's strength is that we collaborate. And so that investment involves both the city, the Civic Fund, Innovation Works, I'm going to leave somebody out. I'm not going to. Ignite Capital, as well as Downtown Partnership. And when we think about the investment in commercial corridors, we could think about downtown. But this investment allows for us to think about uptown, think about West Baltimore, East Baltimore, South Baltimore, and the rich commercial corridors and that we have in those parts of the community, and to work in tandem with others who are doing that great work of making sure our communities remain vibrant and that small businesses are able to occupy the brick and mortar that makes this city so special.
You know, Alicia, one of the things that you and I and our team are so proud of is when we came to town, we came with the full force of JPMorgan Chase, really to make a difference and be part of this community. So not in typical neighborhoods that you might expect a bank to be in. Of course, we're in those neighborhoods, but in neighborhoods that, frankly, have been underserved by banks and financial institutions. So at the same time we looked at our initial branch footprint, we looked at South Baltimore. We opened up in Cherry Hill. The first branch ever of a bank in that neighborhood, and we're proud to be there. We also talk about the community branch concept and what we opened up in Mondawmin, which, if you haven't seen it, really is a wonderful place to visit. So we opened up a large branch in Mondawmin. We hired a community manager. His name is Joel Gamble. I think Joel's here today. We hired a number of business consultants, And this team goes out into the community, meets with minority entrepreneurs, meets with small businesses, meets with the community, many times meeting with people to open up their first bank account, apply for their first credit card or mortgage or auto loan, and then also to bring the community into the branch. It's a lovely space where we host financial literacy seminars and really help the community, and we really want to be part of the progress, part of the renaissance of Baltimore. And I know, this is something we're doing elsewhere in the country, but I'm certainly particularly happy that we're doing it here.
No, and I think as you think about what we're able to do here in Baltimore in our philanthropic endeavors and in our business, bringing the full force of the firm, I think, is the way that you can think about it. The richness of the philanthropic community here, the richness of the business community, and the ability for an international bank to be able to actually enter into a market, work in tandem with local government, other corporates, as well as nonprofit leaders, has really been just a benefit of us being here.
It's really terrific. I mean, Alicia mentioned international. It's such a key part of our operation, and we quickly realized Baltimore is an international city. We have many businesses, institutions, nonprofits who do business internationally. They require services that a bank like JPMorgan Chase offers. We are on the ground in 70 countries and are able to bring that capability here to town. And then conversely, what we're seeing more and more of is other businesses in other countries looking at Maryland, looking at Baltimore. Is this a place we should do business? And we like to talk about the city, our highly diverse and talented workforce, all the resources here. We heard from Eddie Resende at World Trade Center Institute, a fantastic resource for a global company looking to expand. Also, the state of Maryland has a very productive Department of International Commerce that reaches out to business leaders to really provide support and aid. And we're all sort of part of the same team here in Baltimore, looking to expand horizons for our business leaders and our community.
Absolutely. So, as a native daughter of Baltimore, I can't say enough about how important this gathering is, but more importantly to our firm, how important it is that Baltimore is a place where we can take big bets and have huge dividends result, both philanthropically and as a business.
Well, thanks, Alicia. And for everyone here, please join the Baltimore Renaissance and feel free to follow up with any questions that you might have of Alicia and I. Thank you so much.